Counsel for the defense, over to you. Your cross-examination, please. Ja, ich bin dabei. Let's go. Let's go, indeed. Wie gesagt, wir wissen halt wirklich nicht, wann sie beide aufgestiegen sind, ne? Jeweils. Ich meine, ist nicht wahr. Ihr seid zu dritt da oben gewesen, ganz sicher, weil der Kutscher war auch oben. Nur mal so am Rande. So at no time did the victim, Mr. Mason, climb up to join you on the roof deck. Absolutely not. Not Dicken. Dicken. No question about it, he said. Not at all. Ich kann auch hier rüber gucken, aber das wird hoffentlich markiert rechtzeitig, wenn dann eine Reaktion stattfindet. Oh, but yes, of course. I remember seeing them both. I saw the victim inside the enclosed cabin talking with this man here. Is this true, Mr. McGilded? Dear me, my lord, at the risk of repeating myself, I boarded the omnibus alone and nodded off inside almost immediately. That's an outright lie. Without doubt, you engaged in. Let me stop you there, fella, and ask, do you have any evidence at all? At all? It is all about evidence in the courts these days, so it is. You do well to remember that. Ja, genau. Warum spreche ich plötzlich so tief? Nein, er hatte eine viel höhere Stimme. Egal. Stimmen kann ich mir nicht merken. It's going so well. Ich meine, ja. Aber nur, wenn ihr beide gleichzeitig da wart. Wie gesagt, vielleicht können wir das mal hinterfragen. Well, it was on the final run of the omnibus at past 10 o'clock in the evening. It would certainly have been quite dark, perhaps too dark to see clearly. Das war nicht nur ein Punkt, nein. Is this some kind of lark? Is this some kind of a joke, he said? Is that what it is? Or perhaps one of the other of you fell asleep briefly? Are you fair dinkum, sir? Are you serious, sir? That's what he said. It's impossible, I tell you. I'd give you the keys to the vault if you could fall asleep in that bitter cold. And if you did manage it, your eyelids would freeze shut and you'd never open them again. Das hört sich ziemlich angsteinflößend an. Ja, das ist ziemlich extrem. It was extreme, I tell you. And we had to put up with it because this man has locked the door. Any true gent would have unlocked it and let me in when I knocked. Er hat geschlafen. Er hat geschlafen? Und nach ihm muss ja noch jemand eingestiegen sein. Ich weiß nicht, also... I'm dreadfully sorry about that, young fella. But you see, I was away with the fairies and I didn't hear you at all. That's a lie. I saw you through the glass. You were talking to someone. Jetzt denkst du dir eindeutig Sachen aus hier. No, it was a cold night, so it was. People do be seeing things that aren't real in the cold. It's hardly surprising. Seeing things? I believe we have reached an impasse here on this particular point. Ah, you, don't take it personally now, lad. If I'm a suspect in this case, then it's only fair that you and the other fiend are too. Open and free competition is what a capitalist society is all about. Ich mag ihn halt wirklich nicht. Ich will halt eigentlich, dass er schuldig ist, okay? This isn't a competition I should like to be involved in, really. Ja, vielleicht nicht... Vielleicht hat er keinen Grund, ihn zu töten, aber dort ist ja schon ein Grund, dem guten McGilded einen Mord anzuhängen, zumindest. So, you had never met Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason before. Oh, let me know! Not once, never! He never met the man before, he said. Never! Warum sprichst du nicht für dich selbst? Warum bist du ein Pferd? And you, Mr. First, had no prior dealings with the victim either? That's right, sir. Hatters don't have much to do with brickmakers, to be perfectly honest, sir. Aber er hat auch einen Hut getragen. Einen Hut, der sogar ziemlich so aussah wie... Ein Hut wie von dir, oder? Der sieht auch ziemlich blöd aus. So wie deine Hüte. No, I imagine not. You see, how many different ways can I put this? Neither of us have the remotest connection to the gentlemen who are inside the cabin. Achso, ja doch, du hattest natürlich eine Verbindung zu dem Guten hier. Zu diesem guten Mann hier. Was tun wir? Mr. McGilded. Ah, yes, counsel, what can I be doing for you? Did the witness' last statement give you pause for thought somehow? So, genau. Not the remotest connection. Is that right now, I wonder? What are you insinuating now? Ah, Mr. Fairplay, it has been too long, so it has. Eh? If I'm not very much mistaken, I believe this has approaching, is it not? Your repayment date? I beg your pardon. Wir hatten das schon vor Gericht geklärt. Du kannst nicht so tun, als wüsstest du nichts davon. Haha. You borrowed 20 guineas from me, sir. At an unconscionable rate of interest. You tricked me. It's extortion. Well now, is that a touch of begrudgery, is it? The sort of begrudgery that might motivate a fella to pass his crimes off on another. Genau, das wäre nämlich meine Idee gewesen. Ah! And young Mr. First. Me, sir? What do you want with me, sir? You do be making hats for a living, do you not? That there top hat sliding about in her head. Is that one of your own creations, is it? Oh, well, I'm still just an apprentice, you understand? Ja, es ist nämlich ziemlich scheiße. I'm learning to find the perfect fit for whatever fine gents walk through the door. The perfect fit, is it? Well, this is a very distinctive design, so it is. Many customers like it, I tell you. They like a distinctive touch. Customers, such as thrice-fired Mason. Ah! Ja, das war nämlich auch mein Gedanke. This you mean? I can't help thinking that this poor fella's head looks distinctly familiar, wouldn't you say? Oh! That's one of my hats. Aye, that it is. So it would seem the brickmaker was a customer of yours. The sort of customer, I'd wager you could have had a wee quarrel with over the distinctiveness of the goods. Oh, no, sir. Absolutely not, sir. Well, there's really nothing more to add. It wouldn't be right to say that the two fellas here haven't the remotest connection to the victim. Yes, ja, nee, das ist wirklich eine Lüge, tatsächlich. Da wolltet ihr uns wohl was verheimlichen, ha? Vielen Dank, Gilded. You little weasel. Ah. He's better at this than I am. Ja, irgendwie schon. Keine Ahnung warum. Aber auch gerade deswegen vertraue ich ihm halt wirklich nicht. Wie er lacht. Please, don't let me little interruptions hold up the proceedings. Also ist das jetzt... Hat sich das jetzt geändert? Ne, ist immer noch so. Ihr könnt es nicht geöffnet haben. Dafür muss ich wohl einen Beweis vorlegen. Ja, wir hören uns noch mehr an erstmal, ja? Are you quite certain about that? That the skylight was shut the entire time? I'm going to lose my block of you in a minute. He's going to lose his rack of you in a minute, that's what he said. Take a look for yourself, go on. You see, it's shut fast now, just like it was on the night. So it is, of course. A fella the size of Mr. Mason could likely break right through it still and all. What? Just looking at the size of the thing, you understand? Now you hold it there for a minute, sir. The other thing means nothing. Not on its own. Let's consider the bigger picture here, shall we? Let's stop biting your cane, shall we? Ist der Punkt gerade wirklich, dass er einfach durchs Fenster geflogen sein könnte? Ich meine, hä? Ja, aber das Fenster ist kaputt, weißt du? Das ist nicht kaputt. I was running the omnibus on another occasion when, well, I broke wind loudly. I shocked myself with it as it happens. This is an expert confession, Mr. First. So, meint er damit das, was ich denke, dass er es damit meint? Oh, I just mean to say, well, the point is, I tried to open the skylight, you see. Ah, deswegen erzählt er das. Okay, er meinte genau das. But just my luck, I couldn't make it budge. The stench was terrible. Everyone was looking daggers at me, sir. Aha, Dagger. So wie der, mit dem du, den guten Mason ermordet hast. You expecting me to sentence you? Oh, no, sir. The point is, this skylight can't be opened. I tried and tried when I was inside the cabin out of shame. Ja, aber nur vom Innen, nicht von außen. Hallo, ist doch gar kein Punkt. So, hast du noch was zu sagen, was Spannendes? You have something to say about that, Mrs. Strahd. Mrs. Strahd. It opens. The skylight. That is what we're talking about, right? Warum schießt du schon wieder? Nein! Nein, nicht gelb! All them skylights open, dead easy. More easily than you can load that weapon? That's a lie, I tell you. Otherwise, when I broke wind, You can't do it from inside, you muck. Richtig, habe ich mir gerade gesehen, dass da oben so ein Dings ist, das man öffnen kann. Genau. Was auch immer, ein Scharnier, keine Ahnung. Look, a few weeks ago, I was up on the roof deck of one of them drags. And they had a great haul. I mean, I had purses coming out my ears. Mr. Strahd, this is not the forum to be eulogizing on the subject of your criminal activities. Na doch, dann kannst du diese direkt dafür hinterher bestrafen. Well, anyway, I had a bit of a scare. Living with the last bloke's purse, he get wise to me. All four of them surrounded me, so I couldn't above the bus and leg it. So what it was, I used the skylight, the catch and jumped right through. What? Yeah, the catch for them skylights is on the top side. That's where you can open them from the cabin. The skylight opens from the roof deck. Das ergibt gar keinen Sinn, warum sollte man das tun? Aber ist okay. Climb up onto the roof of the omnibus at once and verify this witness's claims. Ich hab's doch schon gesehen. Dass man da, genau, da links sieht man das doch. Dass man das öffnen kann. Überraschung! Oh my head! See? Oder! So, it happens that this street girl statement is quite true. I don't believe it. The skylight opens. And from the roof deck. Sanarode. This could be the clue we've been looking for. Es gab schon einige Beweise, nachdem wir gesucht haben und die dann kamen und dann waren sie da. Hat das trotzdem noch nicht gerettet bisher. Was solltest du selbst investigaten? Also, was? Präsent. Hab ich Beweis. So the skylight was fast and shut before. But now the catch has been undone. We should be able to open it. Ja. Ist jetzt offen. Wohl wahr. You can certainly see inside the carriage through this opening, that's for sure. Yes, and there's a lamp in this enclosed cabin. So I'm sure the witnesses would have been able to see quite clearly. That's not good for us. Ja, naja, weiß ich auch nicht. So, bin fertig damit. Kann ich das als Beweis nutzen?
Objection.
Nö, anscheinend nicht. Nein, ich will doch gar keine Inconsistency zeigen. Ich will nur Beweis zeigen. Blödköpfe. Ich kann halt nicht irgendwelche Details ja, hier vorheben. Ich würde gerne den Blutfleck da unten als Beweis präsentieren, wenn es ginge. Oh, keine Ahnung. Geht halt nicht. Ich kann ja von hier aus nicht sagen, dass ich das präsentieren will. Na, keine Ahnung. Was willst du denn hören als Beweis, ha? Proof. That's right. I meant to hear it. We came here to say what we saw, I tell you, not for this. What do you call us both schissers? Brand us as criminals. You call us liars, that's what he means, and accuse us of doing it. As it stands at the moment, there's no hard evidence that incriminates yourselves now, is there? I believe we're in much the same position as one another here. Dann sollten wir beide ja freigesprochen werden, nicht wahr? If I don't crack this case soon, he'll crack this thief. Hast du noch eine Idee, Susato? One of these two men really were involved in some way. Couldn't say, I mean, I don't really know anything about them, do I? Although, by the same token, I don't really know anything about Mr. McGildet either. It's hard to know what to believe here. I think you should try to remember that it's evidence alone that can truly determine the outcome of a trial. Evidence. No one can argue against the size of evidence, including the members of the jury. So you're saying that what we need now is to find a conclusive piece of evidence. Yes, Mr. Naruto, precisely. Okay, ich habe keinen. Kann ich mir das vielleicht noch von hier innen angucken? Sehe ich jetzt noch hier irgendwas Spannendes? Can't find anything out of place. Ja, cool, okay. Das Blut. Da ist irgendwie Blut. Ich weiß nicht, wie das hinkommt. Das ist ja verrückt. So was Verrücktes. Okay, ja, gut. Das wird es wohl sein, was ich brauche. Wow. Why enough to kick someone like you through, certainly, Mr. Naruto? Why someone like me? Ah! What is it? Look, just here. Look at this. That's without question. It's blood. How would there be a blood stain there? Surely. It can't be unrelated to the case. Nein, natürlich nicht. So, okay. Ja, jetzt wird der Beweis auch geupdatet. Jetzt kann ich ihn als Beweis wahrscheinlich hier nutzen. Okay. So, ja, benutze ich weiterhin hier, würde ich sagen, ne? Wie ich schon mal versucht habe. Nur, diesmal wissen wir halt mehr. Wow. On the night in question, the victim was fatally stabbed in the stomach. And immediately afterwards, the victim's body was pushed through the skylight into the cabin below. These are the facts. The irrefutable proof. Remains clearly visible in the omnibus that stands before us today in this very courtroom. That's utter humbug. Wie spricht man das auf Englisch aus? Humbug. Ah, you can't possibly have any evidence. No, you can't. I mean, we didn't do it. I tell you, it's impossible. Irrefutable proof here in this courtroom. Counsel. Ich zeig's ja schon, alles gut. Jetzt redet nicht so viel, bitte. Where exactly within the omnibus is this evidence to which you allude? Warum muss ich das nochmal zeigen? Ich hab's doch gerade schon gezeigt. Sonst hätte ich das doch gar nicht sagen können. Ist ja das Ding. Guck mal, hätte es von Anfang an funktioniert, hätte mir das von Anfang an diese Möglichkeit gegeben, gerade als ich das genau dasselbe getan habe wie jetzt, hätte ich es ja auch gefunden. Jetzt. Sofort. Mein Gott. So ein Blödsinn. By Jupiter is that blood. This bloodstain proves two things. Firstly, when the incident occurred, the skylight of the omnibus was open. And secondly, the victim was already bleeding when he fell through the opening. Oh my! And so it follows that Mr. McGilded, who was inside the enclosed cabin himself at the time, cannot possibly be guilty of this crime. No! Ja, dann sind wohl beide schuldig anscheinend.
Hold it.
But the blood could have sprayed up there when the fellow was stabbed inside the cabin. Ich weiß ja nicht. And only found its way to that one particular spot on the skylight. Sure. And that would be very convenient. Vor allem wäre es dann nicht am Rand da oben gelandet, sondern am Glas wahrscheinlich eher. And let's keep it in mind that the skylight catch can only be unfastened from the roof deck. I myself wouldn't have been able to open it now, would I? There's no way to know for certain, is there? If the gent really fell through the skylight, I mean. Why don't you have a good look at the floor of the cabin between the two seats, Mr. First? Ja, den haben wir immer noch nicht angesprochen, den großen Blutfleck, ne? This all too plain, if you see. There's the aftermath that shows a purple light drop from a fire height. Right there, so it is. What? No! Well, but it can't be. It's all lies! My fellow jury members, I think we can all agree that this is clear proof of the defendant's innocence, can't we? I believe we can, yes, sir. It's clear to me now where the filthy rubbish can be found in this courtroom. So, they thought they could pull the wool over my eyes, did they? I won't tolerate any of the guild's carriages being sullied with blood. I won't tolerate it. Oh, I always knew that nice gentleman who gave us that delightful park couldn't have done such a thing. Warum entscheidest du dich dann so oft um? On 3 then, everyone. 1, 2, 3.
Objection.
Nee, was willst du jetzt noch sagen? A chilling performance, Mr. McGilded. Oh, and what would you be referring then now, Lord Van Zieks? A bloodstain on the frame of the skylight. Such evidence is null and void. Why? For one extremely simple reason. That smear of blood never existed. Was? Wovon redest du?
Objection.
It's there for all to see, and it's clearly blood.
Objection!
I personally attended Scotland Yard's investigation of the omnibus. The officers involved went over the carriage with a fine-tooth comb. Und sie haben den Blutfleck nicht gefunden, also existiert nicht. Komm schon, die können auch was übersehen. So I can state with absolute surety, no such smear of blood existed in the carriage. At least not until this trial began. Are you suggesting, Lord Van Zeeks, that this scent of blood was fabricated, my lord? Yes. And while this court has been in session. Wann? What a palaver. I must say I didn't expect such crude reasoning from a prosecutor of your standing, Lord Van Zeeks. But I'm Magnus McGilded, a fella known all over the capital for his fine contributions to public life. I don't take kindly to slander, and I'll fight it to the bitter end. Even if it's rolling off the tongue of the reaper of the Bailey. Mr. McGilded, I realize that this is your first appearance in court as the accused. However, I am well aware of your involvement behind the scenes in a great many affairs of dubious nature. Bit of us. You're very adept when it comes to avoiding getting your own hands dirty. And each time it happens that a case you're involved in is investigated, you adapt the facts. Adapt the facts? What does that even mean? When you wield a fortune that says Mr. McGilded's, however ill-gotten it may be, nothing is impossible. Tampering with evidence, manipulating the scene of a crime, bribing witnesses. Ist nicht unwahr! Ist halt wirklich nicht unwahr! I chose the ability to concoct the most convenient of stories, sir. Huh. Toot toot, Lord Van Zeeks. This will not do, to be sure. I will not... Will it now, counsel? Oh, no. Will not? I think it's fair to say, this does all sound like a rather far-fetched excuse by a desperate man. The blood on the skull didn't exist, you say? But if you will all cast your eyes back, isn't it true that the omnibus there has been in the courtroom the entire time? How could anyone possibly have put a smear of blood in it without the word and his wife seeing? Ja, vielleicht, weil jemand hier irgendwann eine Rauchgranate reingeworfen hat in den Raum. Und ein bisschen für Panik gesorgt hat. Ich weiß ja nicht, wie ich darauf komme. Isn't that right now, counsel? It's true. The omnibus has been in full view the entire time that court has been in session. My learned friend. Here's to hearing your opinion on this matter in your own words. As you wish. Could someone have tampered with the omnibus during this trial? If you're asking me, I think it could have been possible, wohl. Was? Warte, nein, warum habe ich das gewählt? Das war falsch! As a defense lawyer, it's my job to advocate for the defense as best as I can. But still, also, okay, ist es vielleicht doch richtig? I feel as though there's something even more important at stake here. Bitte was? Ist es wirklich fake? There's no evidence to suggest that the defendant did as my learned friend suggests. However, in terms of having the opportunity to carry out the alleged tampering, there's one possibility. Ich hätte vorher darüber nachdenken sollen, ob das möglich gewesen wäre oder nicht. Oh. Good gracious. Aber vielleicht sollte ich halt hier hingeraten. Aus irgendeinem Grund. Yes, there is. It seems my learned Nipponese friend has no intention of running from the deceit. Deceit? I'm sure everyone still remembers clearly the recess that we were forced to take. As a result of the smoke grenade fired by the witness currently in the stand, Mr. Gina Lestrade. Yep. Hat man gar nicht mehr so viel von dem Wagen gesehen. Oder von irgendwas, um genau zu sein. The courtroom was filled with smoke, and everyone was thrown into confusion. All of us were made to leave this chamber. In that brief interval, under the veil of smoke and all the chaos, It could have been possible to steal inside the omnibus. Warum habe ich das gesagt? Wohin wird es mich wohl bringen? Are you wise? What are you trying to pull, you rotten feckless gouger? Feckless gouger? What does that even mean? You're supposed to be defending me. There's a wicked plot. There's a plot to undermine me, so it is.
Objection!
Ich sag nur die Wahrheit. Ich sag nur die Wahrheit. Maybe you think this is, it changes nothing. The facts are the same. After this courtroom was evacuated earlier, as a result of the smoke grenade, a number of inconsistencies materialized in relation to the omnibus. Inconsistencies such as... Ach, dass nichts da drin war unten, ne? To start with the storage compartment underneath the rear passenger seat. Ja, genau. Der war vorher angeblich auch nicht leer, laut dir. When the police investigated the omnibus, this compartment was full of the driver's items. Secondly, we have the smear of blood on the edge of the skylight. As I have said, that was not present at the start of the trial this morning. Unfortunately, Lord Van Zieks, no one is able to corroborate your claims. That's true. When the omnibus was first wheeled out, both the storage compartment and the skylight were shut. Accordingly, I'm afraid to say, we cannot establish with any certainty if this evidence is the result of tampering or not. Indeed, my lord. No doubt there was not a single person who saw fit to verify such things. What do you think? Sorry? About the omnibus. Is there anything else unusual about the omnibus? Also, ich weiß es wirklich nicht. Vielleicht ist es ein ganz anderer einfach. Vielleicht wurde er ausgetauscht. Das ist gar nicht derselbe. Vorher. Ist rausgefahren und wieder reingefahren. Mit einem anderen. Ich habe wieder einen Inkling bestimmt. Ich weiß aber noch nicht, was für ein Inkling. Ich rate einfach erstmal. Und wir schauen, wo es mich hinbringt. My lord. Yes, counsel. There's one further inconsistency. A mark that surely could not have been present at the start of the trial. Was? What in the devil's name are you going to say now? If you dare to betray me, little maggot, you'd better start watching your back.
Objection!
Silence, McGilded. The court awaits the defense's clarification. This trial keeps swinging one way and then the other. I have no idea what's the truth and what's deception. What am I supposed to believe here? I shall have to ask you to elaborate, counsel. Exactly is this alleged mark that you claim appeared at some point during the trial? Ich weiß es halt nicht, ne? Ich weiß halt wirklich, wovon du redest. At some point during the trial. Kann ich das mal öffnen? Ne, das ergibt ja auch keinen Sinn. Ne? Genau. Alleged mark. At some point during the trial. Ist es das Blut hier unten? War das Blut hier unten schon vorher nicht da? Wurde es deswegen gar nicht erwähnt? Weil das hatte Van Zieks ja nicht erwähnt und er hat uns ja noch gefragt, warum er das Blut nicht erwähnt hat hier unten. Wovon mir das auch vorher nicht aufgefallen ist. Ist es das? If you consider that the victim fell through the skylight onto the floor of the cabin, you would certainly expect to find signs of blood where he landed. Holy shit. Holy shit! This blood stain on the cabin floor was not there when the omnibus was first brought into the courtroom. Good lord! Yes, I do believe you're correct, counsel. Well said. Although, as advocate for the defense, one might say that was a very careless slip of the tongue. I believe the bloodstain on the floor is a decisive piece of evidence. But the question is whether that evidence is genuine, or whether it was unlawfully fabricated by someone. I feel compelled to admit that there's at least a possibility that the evidence is fake. Ist echt? Der ist echt? Der Typ, den wir verteidigen, ist er echt schuldig? This trial is over, Mr. McGilded. I've done everything I possibly can to cooperate with the court, but it is all over now. But you're the defendant. This is over, I tell ya. Capitalism, memory, recollection, what people think they saw, this all is nonsense. Facts are what counts, and the fact is that Bloodstone is there now. Well, now the cause of this desperate trial, long and extremely drawn out as it has been. Ich meine, ich muss sagen, weniger als der erste, den wir hatten. Weniger als der erste. Auf jeden Fall ganz eindeutig, kann ich recht schon mal sagen. That good for nothing reaper of the Bailey has failed to present any decisive evidence at all. I'm scandalized, so I am. I thought better of Lord Van Zeeks. Well, my lord, I must concur with the defendant. The unaffirmed recollections of an individual cannot stand as evidence. At this moment in time, the particular bloodstain in question is very much in existence. And in the absence of any credible method by which to prove its alleged previous non-existence. Wir könnten zum Beispiel prüfen, ob es überhaupt Blut ist. Das wäre so ein Anfang vielleicht. Das hat auf jeden Fall auch eine ganz eindeutige andere Farbe als der Blutfleck auf dem Sitz halt. Lord Van Zeeks, what is your position? The prosecution, my lord, has no further witnesses or evidence to present. Very well. In that case, as I believe we have explored every possible avenue in this matter, I shall proceed to my adjudication. As a formality, I am of course obliged to confirm with the defense first. What formality? As things stand at the moment, it would seem that Mr. McGilded will be found not guilty. Yes. Which would mean we've won. Aber wollen wir das? Wollen wir jetzt wirklich, dass wir nicht gewinnen? Is it really alright for the trial to come to an end now with all these unexplained inconsistencies? Ich wusste gar nicht, dass das möglich ist. So, das Spiel einfach auf Aviary Attorney. Direkt nachdem ich es da so gelobt habe, dass ich sowas noch nie irgendwo in einem Spiel gesehen habe in die Richtung. I don't fucking know! Holy shit! Ich glaube, er ist schuldig. Oder könnte es zumindest sein. I am here in this courtroom today to advocate for the defense of my client, Mr. McGilded. However, at this moment in time, I cannot in all good conscience attest fully to the defendant's innocence. What are you saying, man? Without any question, there's no conclusive evidence to prove that the defendant is guilty. However, there's also no conclusive evidence to prove that he is innocent. Good. Good gracious me! Order! This is unprecedented behavior, counsel. A defense lawyer calling the accused's innocence into question? Are you of sound mind? Oh, it was a grand decision to appoint you as my lawyer, so it was a grand decision. What? I must say, I didn't expect quite such an exquisite spectacle at the end there, but still. Here, have this for your troubles. Oh, danke. Wo kommt die andere Münze jetzt her? Aha. Your job here is done, fella. And some fine work you've done, so you have. What do you mean? It's just as the right honorable gentleman so succinctly put it afore. The trial can't go on anymore. And your closing statement there was, how did he put it now? Nothing more than formality. Ja, wo war das? Hat er so gesagt, ha? Böser Kapitalist. Wir haben ihn verteidigt. Er wurde freigesprochen, wegen uns. Also, wird er doch jetzt, oder? Also, wir können jetzt echt nichts dagegen machen, oder? Sergeant would be fuming. Any unsightly rubbish should be disposed of promptly, as I said. The stinking rich are always guilty of something. You mark my words. Ja, ich stimme zu. Now that proceedings have unfolded in this way, I am compelled to declare a premature end to this trial. Furthermore, the court must accept the defendant's plea. I thank you kindly, my lord. I hereby pronounce the verdict of this court.
Objection!
Okay, gut, wir sprechen mal dazwischen. But we still haven't determined if the bloodstain in the omnibus is genuine or not. We don't know if these witnesses are telling the truth or a pack of lies. We have no idea about the truth. So wohl wirklich nicht. Aber vielleicht gibt es keine eindeutige Wahrheit. My lord, the case made by the prosecution is flawed, plain and simple. If indeed the omnibus presented its evidence was tampered with, the prosecution is at fault for allowing such a disgraceful perversion of justice to take place. My sincerest apologies, my lord.
Objection!
But wait! When we were evacuated from the courtroom, Lord Van Ziek's ordered the evidence to be secured. I'm afraid the prosecution cannot shun responsibility in this matter. That's so unfair. The culpability of the defendant has not, at the present time, been established by this court. Consequently, the jury will not be required to proffer judgment. What? Well, Lord Van Zieks, it's been a pleasure, so it has. And as for you, my dear fellow, I couldn't have asked for a better defense. Ja, wir waren gut. Wir waren gut und ich meine, wir mussten ja sowieso gewinnen, damit wir weiterhin hier bleiben dürfen, also wir hatten ja keine andere Wahl. Do you mean to tell me this has all been a grand waste of time? This is the law of the land, my good man. If you'd like to pursue this matter further, you can always go ahead and try to change the law. Good grief, you've more to say to me, have ya? Just one thing. A warning. This is far from over. Das ist dann jetzt schon der zweite Charakter, den wir anscheinend nochmal wiedersehen werden, ne? Also auch die Frau mit dem Schwan auf dem Kopf. Die wird ja auch nochmal irgendwann wiederkommen, sehr wahrscheinlich. Das ist sehr interessant, wie viele Sachen hier irgendwie auf lange Sicht aufgebaut werden. Zumindest habe ich das Gefühl, dass dem so ist. Well, it's something to be looking forward to then. I hereby pronounce the defendant, Mr. Magnus McGilded, not guilty. Wow! Das ist so weird. Und ich hätte es wahrscheinlich wesentlich cooler gefunden, wenn es jetzt nicht gerade das zweite Mal gewesen wäre, dass ich es in einem Spiel gesehen hätte, dass das passiert. Und das erste Mal für mich war vor 2 Wochen. Ganz zufällig. In einem anderen Spiel. Wow. Ups. Aber es gefällt mir trotzdem sehr, sehr. Das war schon sehr, sehr cool. With the courtroom pandemonium for the second time that day, the judge delivered his verdict. And my first ever trial in Great Britain came to an abrupt end. With the defendant being found not guilty, ostensibly a victory for us. Ja, zumindest auf irgendeiner Ebene, ne? Ist Ansichtssache. That certainly was a long trial. Yes, it was. Your first ever trial in foreign soul and your first victory. It was a wonderful performance. My heartfelt congratulations. And you, Miss Visitor, thank you for your assistance. I suppose we should be happy. The trouble is, we're still completely in the dark about what actually happened. Well, we didn't have enough time. But is it wrong? I mean, who was actually responsible for Mr. Mason's death? We don't even know that. The sole aim of the defense is to obtain a verdict that exonerates the defendant. You carried out your duty to perfection. Ja, ist wohl wahr. Eigentlich ist es egal für unseren Job, ob unser, ja, der Verteidigte. Kann das richtige Wort dafür gerade nicht auf Deutsch, tut mir leid. Ja, ob der schuldig ist oder nicht jedenfalls. Es ist nicht unser Job, es herauszufinden, sondern es ist nur unser Job, ja, darzulegen, ob es genug Hinweise darauf gibt, dass er wirklich garantiert schuldig ist oder zumindest sehr, sehr sicher schuldig ist. Ach, keine Ahnung. Wow. Mr. McGilded. That girl is with him too. Well, it seems the stories are true. Oh, what stories? But the 6 enormous fireworks they do be letting off when there's a verdict of not guilty. I'm sure you must have seen them now. Spectacular, wouldn't you say? Yes, definitely. I thought it was a sight to behold, to be sure it was. And I've you to thank, I suppose, for having an opportunity to see it. I don't know about that. I'm not sure really did anything. What on earth are you saying, fella? They walk out of there a free man then. I don't think it was so much thanks to me as down to your planning. You're a straight-talking fella, aren't ya? I must say, you had me astray in the head there once or twice. But you're young and headstrong. This water under the bridge. Congratulations, Mr. McGilded, on having your name cleared. But nothing's resolved. There's only one thing that matters to me. Oh? We've all seen that I didn't do that odious and abstinent deed. It is gone, is it not? I suppose it is. Now the fine fellows at Scotland Yard can take matters in hand and sort out any wee details. They'll see it for what it is. They'll get to the truth. I have absolute faith in them, so I have. After all, I do be providing a good number of the wages of all the taxes I pay. Als würdest du all deine Steuern zahlen. Verarsch mich nicht. It's not that funny. So then, as we agreed beforehand, 1,000 guineas for your troubles, fella. Oh, no, doch! Doch! Nimm mir wenigstens dein scheiß Geld ab! Ah, be whizzed! You're humble people, are you? You from the east? Well, if you insist. But have this, still in all. You deserve a reward. Wie viel Geld bekomme ich jetzt? Würde mich schon interessieren, wie viel Geld bekomme ich jetzt? Ich weiß ja nicht, wie viel das ist, aber ich will's haben. Mr. Magnus McGilded. Everything is ready, sir. If you'd like to follow me into the courtroom. Into the courtroom? Was macht er da jetzt schon wieder drin? What's this, officer? It is sooner than I was led to believe. I hope it's not inconvenient, sir. There were some changes to the schedule. Well, I must be making tracks now. It is time for the inspection. Sorry, what inspection? They're going to examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. As if I could be present for it myself. Aha, they're going to examine it again. Now? Also vielleicht sprechen sie doch noch schuldig, wenn sie dann nur noch was finden, oder was? Naturally, I'm under no obligation to take part in any more of this matter now. But as an upstanding member of London society, I do be doing my best till where I can. It's a gentleman's duty, so it is. So then, fare thee well. It was an absolute pleasure meeting you. I hope you have a whale of a time while you're studying here in Great Britain. And there he goes. Free man. Oh, I forgot she was here too. Aber ist sie auch nicht mehr, oder? Oder schießt sie noch auf mich? Oh no! Don't move! As I wanted to say, get a move on. She really does take forever to load that thing. Miss Lestrade, would you mind putting that thing down? You're a grown-up. Sorry? And I ate all grown-ups. Alle? Bist du ein Persona 5 Charakter oder so? Ah, there you are. Hi, du? Die ist auf dem Title Screen. Die ist wichtig. Und sie hat ein sehr sehr interessantes Theme direkt anscheinend. Aber ja, jedenfalls auf dem Title Screen, also nicht auf dem Title Screen, sondern wenn man das Spiel startet, kommt so ein Screen, den ihr nicht seht, aber den gibt es auf jeden Fall. Und da ist Sherlock Holmes. Da ist... Jetzt habe ich vergessen, wie sie heißt. Wer heißt sie denn? Oh Gott. Charaktere kann ich nicht. Susato. Guck mal, die ist da. Natürlich bin ich da. Und sie ist die vierte, die noch da ist. Das sind alle Charaktere, die da zu sehen sind, immer, wenn man das Spiel startet. Naughty, naughty, running off like that. Is this some kind of picnic? Who's this little girl now? And taking that with you as well. Who's looking forward to the trial run of my experimental smoke grenade launcher? Ha! Whoa, what the fuck? Do you want to play? You won't beat me. Ah. Excuse me, but who are you? Oh, good day to you. I'm, well, the inventor, I suppose, of that machine. The inventor? Well, no one smoke grenades are so dull, don't you agree? White, I'm all white. If you have to be shrouded in smoke, it should at least be a pretty color, I thought to myself. Do we have to be shrouded in smoke, though? At all? I just took my eyes off it for a moment whilst I was changing into a different omnibus and she pinched it. Ach, so ist das passiert. Ja, doch, hat sie erzählt, dass sie es irgendwem geklaut hat, einfach. Lucky they fitted it with a telegraphic beacon. What's it? What? No idea what this girl is talking about. Anyway, you're coming with me now. Back to my laboratory. What for? You apologize, of course, silly. To my technician. What? You mean say sorry? You must say sorry when you've done something wrong. Surely an adult has told you that before. An adult? I don't listen to no adults. Das habe ich schon gemerkt. Come along then, follow me. Die ist immerhin nicht erwachsen, glaube ich. Denke ich. Würde ich so von ausgehen. I'm fairly sure that what she wants is not to get shot by that massive gun of yours. We'll be leaving now then. Bye bye. I'm so sorry for all the fuss. Okay, also erfahren wir erstmal noch nicht ihren Namen. Aber ja, sie wird auf jeden Fall wohl nochmal auftauchen. Sie wird wohl noch in einem der Fälle wichtig werden. Der zukünftigen Fälle, möchte ich behaupten. Well, do you think perhaps we ought to be on our way now too? Yes, you're right, but... Where to? Oh! We haven't had time to find a place to stay. As soon as we arrived in London, then we had to rush here. All our traveling cases are still with the bailiff. I was originally planning to spend today in search of lodgings. But at this late hour in the day, I'm afraid we might be out of luck. Don't worry though, I have a plan. If the worst comes to worst, I've heard of a lovely park where we could spend the night. Ist das ernst? Please tell me you're not thinking of McGilded Park. I know it may be a little chilly at this time of year, but... Your youthfulness will see us through. Nein, wir sterben! Not sure about that. I think a midwinter London night will freeze a young person's soul just as easily as an elderly one. Oh dear, that doesn't sound agreeable. Now I'm starting to regret turning Mr. McGilded down. That 1000 guineas would have paid for a lovely warm room. Oh Mensch, ja, das war nämlich genau mein Gedanke. Du Idiot. Ihr werdet schon was finden, ne? And so, the trial to determine my worthiness of the study tour was over by the end of the first day in London. However, as I was soon to learn, there were more trying times ahead. Just as the Reaper of the Bailey had warned, the case was far from over. Yep. Das war offensichtlich. Oh.
What's going on? Get the fire brigade! Water! Bring water, quick! What the? How did this happen? I don't know, sir. By the time I
Der Krimmel, das dazu gucken wollte dabei, ha?
No one was supposed to be allowed in here before we started investigating.
Ist da jemand drin?
No.
Ist es direkt der nächste Mord?
There's someone in there. This can't be.
Mann, Six ist so hot. Und, da ist jemand gestorben, glaube ich, gerade vielleicht, potenziell. Sehr interessant. Wie sehr die Fälle ineinander überleiten hier und... Ja, offensichtlich, teilweise wirklich, also der zweite Fall vielleicht nicht, das glaube ich halt irgendwie nicht. Vielleicht kommt die auch nochmal zurück, ja, keine Ahnung, ne, aber erstmal würde ich sagen, in erster Linie, der erste Fall und jetzt dieser Fall bauen auf jeden Fall auf irgendwas auf, was später noch passieren wird. Und gerade das jetzt macht das nochmal deutlicher, dass da noch was passiert ist. Da ist durchaus noch was passiert, da ist vielleicht jemand gerade drin gestorben, vielleicht auch nicht. Wir wissen es nicht. Wir werden es wahrscheinlich bald erfahren, aber das nicht mehr heute. Ja, der Fall hat mir richtig gut gefallen. Richtig, richtig gut. Auch auf der Ebene einfach, dass es jetzt 2 Lösungen gibt für den Fall, ne? Wir wissen nicht, was die richtige Lösung ist. Nicht 100%, ich meine, es wird schon so inszeniert, dass es sehr offensichtlich so ist, dass er das Ganze jetzt fabriziert hat und alles manipuliert hat und er eigentlich der Mörder war, tatsächlich. Aber es gibt auch eine komplette alternative Lösung, gegen die eigentlich nichts spricht. Die wirklich so passiert sein könnte, alternativ. Und das finde ich super interessant. Es hat ein bisschen was von, möchte ich ja nicht so sagen, aber hat ein bisschen was von Danganronpa 3 und ich mag Danganronpa 3 sehr gerne mit Lügen. Lügen sind gut, ne? Und Wahrheiten und Fakten, ne, ist nicht immer dasselbe, bla bla. Und das fühle ich hier sehr stark gerade. Ich weiß auch nicht, ich glaube, meine Entscheidung hat jetzt wahrscheinlich nichts mehr am Ende gebracht, als ich entschieden habe, ob er wohl schuldig war oder nicht. Das war wahrscheinlich relativ irrelevant. Aber das werden wir dann wohl noch klären in Zukunft, ne? Mit dem haben wir noch nicht unser letztes Hühnchen gerupft, möchte ich behaupten. Ja? Und abseits davon... Ja, hatte ich auch das Gefühl, dass er ein bisschen zügiger war, der Fall. Ein bisschen. Okay, vielleicht kommt es auch nur so vor, weil ich mittlerweile relativ viel Text immer mal wieder überspringe, wenn ich merke, dass sie sich wiederholen und nur irgendwas einleiten wollen, was ich weiß, dass es jetzt sowieso kommt, bla bla. Aber ich hatte trotzdem das Gefühl, dass es, ja, schneller voranging diesmal und nicht ganz so viel immer wieder wiederholt wurde. Aber, ja, nehmt es mir auf jeden Fall nicht übel, dass ich ein bisschen Text überspringe und so. Ich denke, das versteht ihr, dass ich dann meistens Sachen überspringe, wo ich mir relativ sicher bin, dass die nicht relevant sind. Ja. Wir verstehen die Story alle, ne? Wir haben die Story verstanden, wir haben nichts verpasst. Gut. Wollte ich nur mit euch geklärt haben, dass wir da alle einer Meinung sind. Ansonsten beschwert euch gerne, aber... Ja, mein Gott, ne? Mein Gott. Lasst doch gerne einen Kommentar da. Sagt mir, was ihr allgemein von dem Fall gehalten habt. Wie immer, würde mich sehr interessieren. Und dann sehen wir uns hoffentlich bald beim 4. Fall wieder. Bis dahin. Ciao.